In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm Madison Kasper.
And I'm Daniel Lopez. Happy New Year, Sharks. In this episode of Mako TV, NSU unveiled a sculpture outside the Alvin Sherman Library. The Rick Case Arena dedicated its floor to Jim Crutchfield, and we sat down for an exclusive interview with Steve Halmos. We start today with an important sports segment. NSU named its Rick Case Arena floor after coach Jim Crutchfield and held a tribute to commemorate the event.
Head men's basketball coach Jim Crutchfield, leading since 2017, was honored with the court being dedicated in his name in front of his family, friends, and the Shark community. Jim Crutchfield's family celebrated the newly named Crutchfield Court and joined him at the men's home opener.
Yeah, I think they were kind of proud, and it's good that they were all down here for the opening game and the ceremony, and it's like my grandson knows now it's going to be there for his lifetime. Unless we lose a lot of games, because I might bring the sander out and sand my name off if we start losing games. I'm not sure about that. But I was told by Dr. Moon it's here forever.
Nick Smith, former player under Crutchfield who now stands next to him on the sidelines as associate head coach, speaks on behalf of the men's basketball team and the honor it is to play on this court.
They have this respect for him already. I think every time they walk onto the court and see his name, it's like, wow, we're getting to play in real time for a legendary basketball coach. So I think it gives them a little bit more motivation.
Crutchfield holds the record for the highest winning percentage among coaches at any level in NCAA history and has led Nova to 2 national championships in the last 3 seasons. When Coach Crutchfield saw his name on the court, it carried a deeper meaning for him. The family name brought back memories of his parents and feeling like a kid again, which made this moment bigger than basketball.
My name, it's my name, but it's also my family's name. And I was always real close with my parents. And one of the thoughts that came to my mind was, I wish my parents were still alive to see this. It's kind of funny how when you get older, that does kind of still ring. You forget you're old, you're still like a kid when you think about your parents.
Assistant Athletic Director of Athletic External Affairs, Robert Barronil, highlights Crutchfield's genuine character on and off the court.
He's as humble as it gets, right? I think you can ask Coach any day, any game, any opponent, how's it look, and it's going to be a tough matchup, right? He doesn't downplay the opponent. He's a simple guy. He's a humble guy from West Virginia who doesn't get distracted in things that aren't important.
The men's team holds the record for 94 straight wins at home. It plans to keep this streak and Crutchfield's legacy alive on his court. I'm Jonathan Paul with Mako TV.
Our sports reporter, Liv Zolk, has updates. Welcome, Liv.
Thank you, Madison. Joining me is Maya Esparza from Athletic Communications and the NSU Women's Swim Team. Welcome, Maya.
Thanks for having me.
So, at the halftime of the men's home opener, you and the swim team received your championship rings from last season. What does this mean to the team?
It was super special. It was a nice chance to experience that win one last time with all the seniors who graduated and are no longer on the team. And it also felt really good to be recognized for all that we did going into this next season.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the NSU women's basketball team is undefeated for the first time in program history. What does this mean for the athletics program?
They're doing amazing right now. They're 18-0, which is their best start ever. Their defense is really on and they're scoring lots of points. They're currently ranked 4th, which is super exciting because we're the only university with both our men's and our women's basketball teams in the top 10.
So tomorrow, men's basketball faces Palm Beach Atlantic, who's the only team they have lost to this season. What's the expectation going into the game?
So tomorrow's probably going to be our biggest game of the season, as PBA is ranked 4th and we are currently ranked 3rd. So I'd say our biggest goal is revenge for them beating us earlier in the season and trying to win this game.
Thank you for being here, Maya.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Liv, and thank you, Maya. Construction around NSU's campus has led to road closures that are expected to last until August of this year. Our reporter, Jessica Rodriguez, has the story.
For drivers, Southwest 39th Street is closed. Workers are constructing a new bike lane for commuters.
Well, these changes were brought up by the community, and Town of Davie reacted in a positive way to the community, and they went ahead, started the project in the design phase, then went through all the approvals, and then finally they bid it out for a contractor to implement the work.
NSU students have to find new paths, often adding more time to their drive.
I've had to go a different way. I just go further south on College Ave and then enter towards the back of the school, go around the roundabout, and then go around to Carl DeSantis parking garage.
Beginning October 6th, Southwest 30th Street has been closed for construction. The construction is expected to last 300 days, expanding westward.
So the first phase went all the way from the east on College Avenue to the entrance of the Law Building. That was phase 1, which lasted approximately about 3 weeks. Phase 2 will extend the construction work for the underground drainage to Ray Ferraro Boulevard. That's phase 2. And then phase 3, which will take into account another 3 weeks after that, would take it all the way to 75th.
For more information and updates, you can visit davie-fl.gov. I'm Jessica Rodriguez with Mako TV.
Joining me to talk about updates with Mako Radio is Assistant Station Manager DJ Romi. Welcome, DJ Romi.
Thank you for having me, Daniel.
What's going on with Mako Radio?
So I'm very excited to say we are back live on air starting next week. On Tuesday during the lunch hour, we will have That's News to Us. And on Friday, we will have our Off the Record show, where it's a variety show that talks about lots of stuff on what's going on campus, from sports, other events. And it's just a great way to stay tuned and find out what's going around on campus. We also will be starting a new show, one of my shows, that I will be with DJ Blossom the following Tuesday, called Era to Era, where we talk about how different genres open the gateway to subgenres. So that's something you would definitely like to check out if you're interested in that. And then, of course, we have B-Side that following Friday, which is an amazing show, and I do personally love listening to it myself. You can also catch us DJing around campus. You know, if you see us, come stop by and say hi. And we're always happy to help. And you can stay tuned on our live stream, nova.edu/Mako Radio, or on 88.5 FM.
Thank you for the updates, DJ Romi.
Thank you for having me.
For our Donor Connect segment, our host, Sarah Juman, Donor Relations Coordinator for University Advancement, sat down with Eric Stelnicki, pediatric plastic surgeon, to discuss his contributions to NSU.
Welcome to Donor Connect. I'm Sarah Juman, and today I'm joined by Dr. Eric Stelnicki, an accomplished pediatric plastic surgeon, visionary leader in craniofacial care, and a generous supporter of research and innovation at NSU. Welcome, Dr. Stelnicki.
Thank you very much.
Today, we're highlighting the Dr. Eric Stelnicki KLS Martin Endowed Fund for Craniofacial Research. This fund supports innovative care for children with facial differences. Dr. Stelnicki's dedication is shaping the future of pediatric medicine at NSU and beyond. Dr. Stelnicki, thank you so much for being here.
No, it's absolutely my pleasure, and thank you for taking the time to meet with me today and talk about this research fund that we've helped create here at NSU.
What led you to start getting into craniofacial care?
Oh, that's one of those good old medical school rotations. I was on a plastic surgery rotation in med school, and I honestly had no intention of being a plastic surgeon, but it was one of those aha moments where I was at the University of Florida, and I'm a Gator, go Gators originally, even though I've been a Shark for the last 30 years. But I was watching a plastic surgeon take a child who looked like a fish, whose eyes were literally on the side of their head instead of in their front. And that doctor worked with a neurosurgeon, split the child's face in half, took the brain, moved it, and took those eyes from the side of the head and moved it in the front and made the child, instead of looking like a fish, look like a human. And I walked out of that operating room and I said, that is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. And I never stopped.
The Dr. Eric Stelnicki KLS Martin Endowed Fund for Craniofacial Research will help so many students and researchers as well. Absolutely. If you could share a message to them, what would that be?
Any discipline that is interested in looking at craniofacial care can apply to this fund. And any young or old faculty member who has a project that needs some seed money can apply to this fund. So it's there, and people need to know that it's out there and know that it's there forever. So the fund lives as an endowed fund off of the interest that it generates. So the money that's there will never go away, and whatever can be generated off of the interest, that's what funds the fund. The other thing I would say is it needs to be funded more. So if there are people that want to add to that fund, the more it can be added to, that base of that fund can be there, the more interest it produces and the more it can fund research at this institution in perpetuity. So A, I want people to apply to it, and B, I want people to give to it so it can continue to grow.
So you're running for the Florida House of Representatives. What made you want to run?
Well, there's a couple reasons for that. There's the political reason, and then there's the personal reason. So I am running for the Florida House of Representatives in House District 100, which my district is in Broward County. It runs from Fort Lauderdale all the way up to Deerfield Beach. And if I get elected, I will be the only elected physician in the entire state of Florida. So all these little healthcare things that you hear coming down as laws and bills and things that affect each and every one of us in terms of what's affecting your insurance, immunization laws and rules and everything that you hear, there is not a single physician making those rules, which I find completely insane. I think it doesn't matter what party you're from, you've got to realize that there needs to be one experienced physician up in Tallahassee helping guide that process, and I'm hoping to be that person. The personal why I'm running is because about 2 years ago, I got very severely injured. I was riding a horse in Wyoming with my wife, and like Christopher Reeves, I was thrown from that horse, and I broke my back in 7 places, including my neck. I threw a blood clot to my brain. I was paralyzed in my arm and my leg, and I threw a blood clot to my chest, lost 5 teeth, broke my face, and bit my tongue half off. And thanks to a wife who didn't want to step on my neck and finish me off, but instead wanted to keep me around, I am here talking to you today. With a lot of hard work from doctors here locally, grace of God and her help, I'm not only been mended a long way back to my health, but it's given me the motivation, since I'm not Christopher Reeves and I'm not in a wheelchair or deceased. I feel that it's the second lease on life it's important for me to do more. And it's not like I do a terrible thing as a pediatric craniofacial surgeon. I think I help a lot of people, but the only way I can help more is to go to Tallahassee to represent the state that I was born in, the state that I love, and go there and help millions and millions of people. And there is a need. There is no one giving medical guidance to all the lawmakers in Tallahassee, and it is my goal to go up there and give that guidance.
This has been so great, Dr. Stelnicki, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. You're doing such important work, so I really appreciate you being here today and sharing that beautiful message.
Thank you so much.
This has been Mako Media, Donor Connect. I'm Sarah Juman. See you next time.
Thanks, Sarah. Stay tuned for an exclusive interview with Steve Halmos, the donor who named the Halmos College of Arts and Sciences. Now joining me for our art segment is our executive producer and arts reporter, Jocelyn Saccucci. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Hi, Madison. Thank you for having me.
What's going on with arts here at NSU?
Tonight marks the 16th annual Improv Jam. The event will begin at 7:30 p.m. in the Performance Theater. On February 5th, Dr. Bill Witham's originally composed music will be played alongside musical guests. The event begins at 7:30 p.m. in the Cotilla Gallery. February 12th marks the opening of the 15th Senior Showcase Art Exhibition, which will run until March 12th. The opening ceremony will take place in UC Gallery 217 at 5 p.m. NSU unveiled a sculpture by artist Jed Novat outside of NSU's Alvin Sherman Library. Our reporter Jonathan Paul has the story.
A new piece of public art was unveiled in front of NSU's Alvin Sherman Library. The sculpture called Chaos was created by artist Jed Novat and donated to the NSU Art Museum, Fort Lauderdale, by local arts patrons Lisa and David Burgess.
For them to think of us and to want to have this important artwork here on our campus, I think is tremendous. And again, it's a reflection of how we are regarded as an institution, both in this community and increasingly across the country.
Lisa and David Burgess are longtime supporters of NSU and the Art Museum. Since the museum did not have outdoor space to display the sculpture, they brought it to NSU's campus.
It's our hometown university, and it's been growing by leaps and bounds. I remember when it was a very, very small school, and it's not a small school anymore. I just believe in the future of NSU, and we wanted to share this work with the students and with the NSU public at large.
Chaos by Jed Novat stands on one of the busiest areas on campus, allowing art to reach students in their daily life.
The idea is to stimulate our students, our faculty, our staff's curiosity, and think about then how it reflects on life itself.
For the artist himself, seeing chaos placed at a university holds special meaning.
I'm always very flattered when my work is recognized anywhere, and this is a fantastic university, and so I'm delighted.
For more information on the NSU Art Museum Fort Lauderdale, visit nsuartmuseum.org. I'm Jonathan Paul with Mako TV.
Thank you for your updates, Jocelyn.
Thank you, Madison.
Many Sharks use social media to connect with others on and off campus. Our reporter, Sienna Krager, has the story.
For some students at NSU, social media can be more than just a platform. It helps build and maintain relationships.
During the summer, I talked to a whole bunch of different people because I was DMing people from the first year account, the freshman account, and I made 2 good friends out of it, so that was pretty helpful, pretty nice.
Social media can help students connect before class begins. It can also be a creative outlet for students.
It's easier to reach out to people and to express yourself in different ways, whether it's liking your friend's post or making your own post of different pictures, collages, stuff like that. So I found it really easy to connect and express yourself.
First-year student Jonna Castillo uses social media to stay in touch with her friends back home.
When I first started school, we had a big group chat, a big NSU Black group chat. So that's how I met most of my friends, and that's why we're still friends till this day.
Social media group chats can also help students find each other.
This has helped me find people that I need to find, but I don't have their numbers. It's helped me find people that way.
Social media helps students at NSU get connected with their campus and their community. I'm Sienna Krager with Mako TV.
Mako TV held an exclusive interview with special guest Steve Halmos, the donor who named the Halmos College of Arts and Sciences. Halmos sat down with my co-anchor Madison to discuss his work and his contributions to NSU.
Welcome to our special segment. I'm Madison Kasper. Here with me is Steve Halmos, founder of Halmos Holding, a privately held family investment holding company. Welcome, Mr. Halmos. We're honored to have you here.
Thank you.
So, looking back on your professional and personal career and journey, what principles really shaped who you are today?
Our family came to the United States from Hungary when I was a young child. I was about 3 years old, fleeing the Germans and later the Russians who were persecuting people of Jewish descent. So I came here and my parents instilled in me the value of hard work, of education, of integrity, and all those platitudes that most people talk about, but I think in my case were very important to me.
The College of Arts and Sciences here at Nova Southeastern University carries your name. What does it mean to you personally?
Having our family name on a wonderful college like this is just a great honor and something I never envisioned would ever happen. It means a lot to me, and I think it means a lot to my family as well. And what makes it special is the thought that for generations to come, thousands of students will walk these halls that with our name above the door. And I'm just honored that that's possible.
So what advice would you give NSU students who want to make a meaningful impact?
Everybody's different. So I think to make the biggest impact, you have to define how do you define success? And most importantly, you define it in your own terms, set an objective, and work hard, whatever that means, but work hard to achieve your objectives.
How do you define success?
So for me, defining success in the early days was achieving financial success, financial independence. I guess as time goes on and once I achieved a little of that, I learned the importance of giving back and doing some things that were less about me than other people. I've been very fortunate, and I think I've lived the American dream, whatever that is. I think, again, that's probably an abused term, but and people use it in all different ways. But from my definition of it, I think I've lived the American dream, and and like the idea of trying to help others live their version of the American dream as well.
Looking ahead, what legacy do you hope that your name carries?
I hope people say he was a good guy. You know, he didn't make the world a worse place. Maybe made it a little bit better. That maybe a little bit better because he was in it. As far as students here go, you know, I hope I encourage people to work hard, define their success, go after it, and maybe in some small way help students achieve that success.
Any last thoughts?
Well, maybe just one. You know, I've spent a lot of time in recent days at the Board of Trustees, and we focus a lot on NSU Ocean and the health professions, and those seem to be, you know, a primary focus right now of NSU, which I think is wonderful. But we shouldn't forget the arts and the humanities, and I think it's very important that this college continue to do the job it does in those areas as well, so that they're not forgotten and they're not given second-class status.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thanks. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I thank you for your time. Thank for all of you.
This has been our special segment. I'm Madison Kasper. See you next time. To end off our show, our reporter Olivia Nur asks our Sharks about their New Year's resolutions.
Today, I will be asking Sharks about their New Year's resolutions. What is one of your New Year's resolutions for 2026?
Better that, I'll give you 3. I want to grow close. I want to grow closer with God. I want to go to the gym more, and I want to have a proper sleep schedule to not miss any classes.
I think one of my biggest resolutions is just to grow. I turned 23 this year, and I was born on the 23rd. I want to do my best to grow as much as possible. So when I watch videos of past me, I'm like, wow, I really did get as high as I wanted to get this year.
I want to dedicate more time to creative hobbies outside of my major, so I want to go into things that actually interest me on top of what I'm studying, just to keep me more motivated and overall happy.
One of my New Year's resolutions is staying healthy, staying in the gym, get back into my winter arc so I can come out in the summer looking good.
My New Year's resolution for 2026 is to not be so hard on myself going forward.
My New Year's resolution is to play pickleball every single day.
What is one of your New Year's resolutions for 2026?
My New Year's resolution for 2026 was to do at least one act of kindness every single day.
Now we have heard from NSU students about their big goals for 2026. Welcome back, Sharks. I'm Olivia Nur with Mako TV.
That is all for this episode of Mako TV. You can catch our solo release videos on our YouTube channel at Mako Television.
You can also follow us on Instagram at NSU_Mako TV. Thank you for watching.
See you next time. Go Sharks!